Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live. Always real. Always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that.
You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Friday. Yes, August 30th, holiday weekend. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Brandon. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Well, forecasters are warning that Hurricane Dorian is strengthening and could become an absolute monster. Hitting Florida as a Category 4 or 5 storm. It's projected to slam into the south and central Florida coast as soon as Labor Day. All of Florida is under a state of emergency. Some are already filling sandbags. Authorities are urging residents to stockpile supplies and prepare themselves and their families. Meantime, officials are preparing for massive power outages. As many as 7.5 million residents may lose power. That's according to the University of Michigan. So we just want to make sure everybody takes this seriously, right, Tori? Everybody checks on their neighbors, make sure that you do stockpile these necessary objects, ingredients, whatever you need to do to ensure that you will be safe.
Yeah, and look up hacks on how to do things, little things like get a portable charger from Target so you don't have to plug anything in, fill your bathtub up with water so you can flush your toilet. Things that you might not have thought of can be helpful, but again, look in families, neighbors, pets, and maybe make sure you have the dog collar because making sure that the number on there is important.
Very important. And to anybody in our DBL Nation that's in this area, any Floridians, please write us in. Let us know what you're doing. If you have any advice that you could give to some of your fellow Floridians, we would love to know. All right, how would you react if someone pointed a gun at you? Check out this surveillance video from a bar in St. Louis. A man with a heavily modified pistol came in, ordering everyone around the room onto the ground. He demanded their money and phones, but one patron at the bar refused to hand his over. He even lights a cigarette as the guy points a gun at him. Here is what the patron said about his reaction.
I said, not another punk trying to pull a punk move. I'm so tired of people in South City think that they can control people because they want to muscle their way in with firearms or bad attitudes or, you know, some kind of aggression. But it's probably not in your best interest if they have a loaded firearm. I wouldn't suggest that to just anybody.
Wow, Stephanie, that's Tony Tovar, okay? So Tony Tovar is a regular at this bar. This bar has been open since World War II. They've only had one other incident in 83 years, and he held on to his phone,
He pulled it back off.
I know. It looked like a Tarantino movie. Stephanie. I could see Stephanie doing this.
Honestly, I always think you never know how you're going to react until you've been in one of these situations. I've never had a gun pointed at me. Praise God. You know, I hope that never happens to any of us. But, oh my gosh, I'm really proud of him. This could have gone so wrong. I think you can sense sometimes the energy of a person, and I think he could probably sense what this gentleman wanted, which he believes was money for drugs. So I think he just stood his ground. But people at home, please
do not try this at home, right, Brandon?
Remember a couple months ago when I was walking home, the guy with the machete tried to rob me right there. And
how did you handle it?
At that moment, I was enraged. Like, I wanted to fight. But at the same time, it was like, you know, it looked a little rusty. You know, I didn't want to get my skin messed up.
You don't want to go get a tetanus shot.
Easily, you know. But at that moment, like, I kind of felt like that guy, right, Mr. Tovar. Tony. Because you just get upset and you're like, what are you doing?
Well, he was
right
calm,
now?
cool, and collected. And that's why I tried to research. Is this a former military member? Former police officer? Because there's certain individuals that are trained to be calm, cool, and collected under pressure. I did not find any of that. So it just may be him. It just may be that he can read energy. He also feels very comfortable in this bar. Again, this is his mainstay. This is crazy. And he's not the only one there. I know in that video it looks like he's the only one.
There was a gentleman hiding.
There's a handful of people that were there that either ran or hid. He was the mainstay, Tori. So
someone should hire him for their like ice cold beer company.
They have to.
He stays ice cold.
Tony Tovar definitely deserves to be some sort of a spokesperson, right? He's the most interesting man in the world. Yes. All right. Well, a Houston mom is sharing some scary video. She was greeting her young daughter as she got off her school bus, and then this happened. Watch.
Layla, come here. No, wait. Stop!
5-year-old Melina Kirk-Taylor is fine, but her mom was very angry with the driver. Take a look.
I didn't even slow down whatsoever. Like, after this incident, didn't stop to ask if my daughter was okay or anything. And that's just what hurt me the most, because it could have ended very differently, and you had no concern about my child whatsoever.
Zero concern. She hopes that sharing the video will remind drivers to stop for school buses. This is disgusting. And I see this. I always drive through a school zone every day on the way to get here to work here in Denver, and I do have to slow down to 20 miles per hour. People behind me are beeping.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, there's children at any moment that could cross this street. And I do see people sometimes rush by school buses. It's a split second that you could hit a child, end that child's life, or injure them to the point where they have trauma for the rest of their life. Who are these people that are in such a rush?
Here's the deal. Check out this. I have a picture of what the stop sign is. And in Texas, again, it's against the law. Once these stop signs are out on each side, but look how very small that is. Let's be honest. If you're going
I think a big yellow bus is
a big yellow bus is enough. I'm sorry. Every single person in this room knows when a yellow bus is stopped. You know, especially at 2:30 in the afternoon, kids are getting out of that bus.
I just wish they'd make those things way bigger so the distracted drivers, which there are, could be more seen, because it's probably going to happen because people are on their phones doing stupid things.
They shouldn't be on the,
I know, but they are going to be, right? So I wish those were bigger.
I feel like here, this isn't taken anywhere near seriously enough. I've noticed when I've been a pedestrian in comparison to England. So when I've been walking around just on the street, and obviously I'm an adult, so I'm a lot more aware than a young child. You know, when I go to cross the street, people just drive straight across the pedestrian crossing.
Right.
In England, you'd get a fine for that.
Yeah, if you see,
you're supposed to here.
By law, as soon as someone's foot enters that pedestrian crossing, even if they're 20 feet away from you, you have to stop. Even if they've already crossed in front of you, until they reach the other side of that curb, you have to remain stopped. Nobody follows these rules, and it could end in the loss of someone's life. And these are some of the rules that I fully follow, and I get so angry with people that don't follow them, because there's a reason for these type of rules.
People's lives.
I know. Children, that poor little 5-year-old girl.
Thank God she was watching.
Thank God she's okay. We do want to give a big DBL shout out to 15-year-old Coco Gauff, who is absolutely killing it at the U.S. Open. She won a tough 3-set win last night, becoming the youngest player to reach the 3rd round since Anna Kournikova in 1996. She's set to take on the defending champion Naomi Osaka on Saturday, and after the match, Coco thanked the sold-out crowd that was chanting and cheering for her, saying, quote, "I don't even know how to really thank you guys. I'm super honored to be American and play in New York City. Like, thank you so much." So you, as a former athlete, you know, you were very good at a very young age. What do you think she's going through right now?
I wasn't even close to being that good
relate.
At that
you
age.
can still relate.
At 15, to have the poise that she has and the skill set, it's like unprecedented in a way. I remember my 2nd game at the University of Massachusetts. We went and played at Kansas State. I'm 18 years old. There's like 60,000 people, and I'm sitting there like nervous, shaking. But she's on the highest stage, the biggest stage, beating her idols at the same time.
Some people are just born like that. Like
unreal.
The other story of the guy lighting the cigarette, he's just okay doing that. That's what happens. For her, she's a superstar. You can see it. She has the it factor. She's calm with media. She's going to make it.
She's also been very good from a very young age, Stephanie, and so she has been slowly prepped from a state level, a county level, now on a world level. So when you're prepped at a young age, you do get to take those steps rather than overnight.
That's true.
So this is exactly why. So she's coached by Serena's coach, Patrick Muglo, and she flew over to France to his training camp at the age of 10, where he has kind of like an open scouting what's it called?
Academy.
Academy. That's the one I'm looking for.
Academy.
And he said what he does, he watches everyone and then he chats to everyone individually. He said at 10 years old, she came up to him and she said, "I can win the Grand Slam. I have got this." And he said that's the difference between a champion and a regular player.
I can't call her a superstar just yet.
Why?
No. She's got to win a major.
I agree. No, she isn't. No, you're right. Fair enough. But let's give some credit to Venus and Serena, who pointed the way for this woman.
Yes. All right, here's a feel-good story for your Friday. Check out these pictures a mother shared of Snow White stepping in and comforting her 6-year-old son who has autism. She says he began to have a meltdown at Disney World. That's when the fairy tale character gave him a hug. Oh, this is making me emotional.
You're going to go crazy.
She took the boy for a walk, got him away from the crowd. She said it was, quote, true magic.
Okay, that
is so special.
I read all about this. So the mother and father were really scared. They had been through Disney World. They're tired. They ran up to Snow White and he burst into tears and in front of everyone. And she knew, which they are trained trained to do with certain characters, to get, hey, and she said, let's go for a walk. And the idea was not to embarrass him, but to get him away from the sounds and the overstimulation. She knew exactly what to do. The mother and father started crying
because you know why?
And they started dancing.
But do you know why? Listen, of course, I'm so happy for this little boy to have that magical moment and not feel ostracized for once. But for once, those parents didn't feel embarrassed.
Right.
Yeah. And they shouldn't feel embarrassed. But I take my daughter Sophie to all sorts of different things during the weekend, and there's times where I'll be amongst, you know, parents who have special needs children, and I can see the anguish in those parents' faces. They want the best for their children, but they're also aware of their surroundings, and when their child has a meltdown, or their child is not acting conventionally normal to our societal terms, I say that in air quotes, you see the anguish on their face. So I just really appreciate what Snow White did there, considering how difficult it is for those parents.
But the little boy knew what he was doing. It's like it pays out to say, when he jumped in the water so he could get a kiss by the lifeguard. He knew what he was doing.
He needed help. She knew how to help him.
Look at the last photo. He's sitting there smiling at her like.
Can't blame him.
Yeah.
Can't blame him.
Shoot the shot.
DBL is live coming up. The star of the new horror movie Ready or Not dishes on another project she's working on, the next Bill and Ted movie. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. American workers would rather make less money in exchange for a more lax dress code. Your comments on that next.
Carry a huge rock, and when a car goes through a bus stop, throw it at the car and break the window. Pisses me off. Well, of course, we don't want to advocate for violence, but I understand your frustration, Brandy. Believe me, it's so dangerous. You saw how quick that car went by and how close that 5-year-old girl was to that car. It could have ended in a nanosecond so differently, and that's what's so scary.
You know what's weird is when you guys said it's a big yellow bus, Doris Shoemaker just wrote in, that person driving wasn't watching, must have been on their phone. Because not only did you miss the tiny little stop signs, but they missed the big yellow bus and the little girl.
There was also
so there's no way they were looking.
Driver was already out. Like, you already saw there was already commotion next to that bus. Like, he or she was not even on looking at the road.
The mother stood at one side going, come here, come here. Like, how could you miss
commotion.
all of the
You're missing
You're on your
all of
phone.
it.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, would you let Sophie go on a school bus when the time comes, or would you want to drive her to school?
No, because I'm a big proponent of like public schools, school busing, like all of that. I grew up in walking to school, school busing, all of it. So yeah, I'm a big proponent of that.
I used to get suspended from the bus all the time.
What did you do?
I was all over the place.
What did you have to do to get suspended on the bus?
Suspended from the bus, kicked off the bus. I used to talk back to our bus driver, Miss Brown, all the time.
That's terrible.
Miss Brown.
You should send her an apology.
No.
Yeah, you
that
should.
lady was evil. I'm sorry.
I bet you were evil.
I was, but
I bet Brandon was
it was evil fighting evil, but I was the more evil. What else did I used to do? I don't know.
What did you do to get in trouble off the bus? Like, did you throw
fights
things?
on the bus, like throwing stuff?
Yeah,
because when I was living in New Kent, Virginia, everyone took the bus. So it was like they would pick up elementary school first, then we'd go by the middle school, pick up the middle schoolers, then we'd pick up the high schoolers. And my brother was 2 years older than me, and he and his friends used to always like mess with me. So I felt like, I had to hold my
actual fight.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Depending on what you do for a living, you may have a uniform or a dress code you don't like. Not everyone can wear whatever they want to work. And a new study reveals that 1/3 of U.S. workers would rather have an informal dress code than a $5,000 boost in their salary. What? So DBL Nation, would you pass up $5 grand to wear what you want to work? Take it away, Brandon.
$5 grand?
I know. 5 G's.
I know.
Put my tie on for that. Shelly from Facebook says, I work in fast food and people judge me based on my uniform, although I'm management. So to be able to get off work and go grocery shopping or go out with friends right after work would be a game changer. Like if you're working for some sort of commercial chain, I don't want to see somebody from Chick-fil-A dressed like you going to the club. Absolutely not. If it's a situation like that, then yeah, but a situation like here in DBL where there's people on computers, you know, you're just doing work, it's about production. I don't care what people wear.
Oh, it is a corporation, though. Let's not forget that we work for Tegna. That's a corporation, and in my opinion,
Stop snitching, Stan.
I'm just saying, just saying.
Ooh, Carla from Facebook says, I tell people all the time that I became a nurse so that I could wear my scrubs. Oh my God, I volunteered at a hospital so I could wear scrubs, so I know exactly what you mean. Richard Branson, who owns Virgin and recently sold some of it, said, look, I think people should get rid of unnecessary hierarchies and formalities. Our CEO is Josh. I'm Richard. We don't even have offices. You just won't find a tie in sight. He thinks it boosts production because you don't spend time having to pick out certain things. People just come in sort of a basic uniform and feel comfortable. I think what you said, though, it depends on the site of where you are. But I generally like to dress down.
Matt from Facebook says, I'm a paralegal and wearing suits and ties in the summertime is killing me in the Arizona heat. Wow, yeah. I'll pass up $5K to be able to wear shorts and a polo shirt.
Yeah, comfort.
But I'm sure you can still make a polo shirt and smart tailored shorts look really good.
I'm sure they have to wear pants.
Well, I don't know. I think I've seen it in England at boarding schools. When you go there, like the children look very, very smart still when they wear those. So I don't know. But what I think is for £5,000, you might be losing that in your salary. But I guarantee it's kind of a win-win situation, same kind of situation, because the clothes are going to cost that much.
Now you're out another 5G.
Yeah,
exactly. That's true. Donna from YouTube says, I have curly hair and my bad hair days outweigh my good hair days. I would sacrifice the money to be able to wear cute hats to work. I love that, Donna, and I can only imagine. I think that's a great idea. I wonder if you could just talk to, like, we have a few cute fashionistas here with hats on.
Fedorable Mike.
Fedorable Mike.
Mike always wears a fedora.
Fedorable Mike always wears a hat.
Hence,
we also
hence the fedorable.
Yep, exactly. So I wondered maybe, Donna, if you could have a word or two with your employer. Maybe that's something that they'll be willing to.
See if you can negotiate that out.
To negotiate with you. But thank you for writing in. We love hearing all that you all have to say. Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles' brother has been charged with murder. Wow. Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment.
Well, Sam, Tevin Biles Thomas has been arrested and accused of killing 3 people. The shooting happened at a New Year's Eve party at an Airbnb in Ohio. Police say a fight broke out after some uninvited guests were asked to leave. Now, he's currently serving in the Army and was taken into custody in Georgia. Biles Thomas is the older brother of 4-time Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles, who has not commented on the case. He's now facing murder, manslaughter, and a slew of other charges, and he'll be in court in September 13th.
Very scary, and you know that affects the entire family, including her, with everything that's going on in her life right now.
She was just killing it. She invented 2 moves. She was on her way, so this is a distraction for her.
Yeah.
And exactly, it's a distraction because it's going to take away. She's going to be, instead of wanting to train more, instead of wanting to put in more hours, she maybe have to deal with being there for her brother.
Going to court.
At the end of the day, that's your brother.
Yep.
And so we don't know what happened.
We don't know. These are all just allegations, but wow. Yeah. Wow. Coming up on DBL, Tori chats with the star of the new horror film Ready or Not and get some details on another big project, the next Bill and Ted movie. That's coming up next.
Guys, so Tony wrote in from Twitter, says school bus stop signs are the same size as street stop signs. Buses also have flashing red lights, and on top of the signs, there's no excuse for going past a bus when all are flashing. My bus is now equipped with stop sign cameras. Lawbreakers, beware. Tony, that's awesome. I always thought they looked smaller, and I was putting up that picture to show that, but I might be out of date, so a really great way of correcting me. I didn't think they were as large as an actual stop sign, but I might be wrong, so I'm going to do some research on that. The idea of cameras is a really smart idea. Get getting a license plate is what that woman was so upset about. The mom never got the license plate, and she's like beating herself up over it. I got to agree with a lot of you. I don't think she was even up looking at the camera. Sorry, at the road. She passed a giant school bus, as you said, flashing red lights, as Tony so eloquently said, and a child, and a commotion around that, right? The bus driver was out as they should have been, and the speed at which they were going was like crazy fast. So if you ever thinking to look at a text, think back on this day that you watched DBL, this episode, and you almost saw a little girl get killed in front of her mom. I mean, that's a good moment to remember. It's like an Oprah moment.
Parents nowadays already have to worry about when they send their kid off to school, them getting home safely. Yeah. So to see your kid and be like, oh.
You're right there. You can touch them.
Right there. Right. And then something tragic would have happened just right there. Oh, man.
The sound of her voice, that panic was so, so scary. If you guys, oh, by the way, people are saying that Coco will be playing Naomi Osaka on Saturday.
That's going to be good.
People are going to go nuts. These are the two new phenoms of tennis. And it's very, very exciting. So I'll be tuning in. Who are you guys rooting for, though?
Who are you rooting for? I'm
Coco. I don't know.
We got to go Coco.
Welcome back to DBL. It's easy to see why actress Samara Weaving gets compared to Margot Robbie, but she doesn't mind because she's already making a name for herself in Hollywood. Well, I talked with her about her latest role as a scream queen in today's Chatting with the Stars. Samara Weaving, thank you so much for that lovely name. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Now, it's no secret you and Margot Robbie are not only fellow Aussies, but long-lost separated twins. How often do you get approached as Margot, and do you ever just go with it?
Oh, totally. I think it's happened once at an airport, and she was a young girl, and she was so excited. I didn't have the heart to tell her it wasn't Marg's, so I just
I love
tried to copy her beautiful smile.
Well, you are starring in the upcoming Bill and Ted 3, which I'm flipping out about, which just wrapped production. Is the movie anything like the first two, Samara, or is it something completely different?
No, it's the same writers, so it's definitely in the same vein.
Hollywood's poked fun at in-laws in the past, but Ready or Not takes that relationship to a new level.
At midnight, you have to play a game.
Why?
It's just something we do when someone new joins the family.
A game. What game? Hide and seek? Are we really gonna play that?
Did you have to draw on any real-life experiences with monster-in-laws to get ready for the role, or you just kind of Stanislavski-ing it?
Yeah, I was just winging it. No. I hope my in-laws don't try and murder me on my wedding day.
That's a good point.
Founder.
Do you prefer doing comedy or horror? Is there one that you prefer more than the other?
They're both fun.
How was that? Was it weird to be covered in blood, or did you absolutely love it?
It's quite uncomfortable. The only upside is that it's made up of corn syrup, so it tastes like caramel.
Really?
Quite yummy.
Things you didn't know with Samara Weaving. Thank you so much, Samara. We'll be right back.
Promotional.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and today we're talking some beauty gossip, honey. Now, for today's beauty tea, I'm super excited to announce that one of my favorite girlfriends, okay, she's not like my girlfriends and we don't know each other or whatever, but she's like the friend in my head, you know? But Zoe Kravitz is actually announcing a brand new beauty collaboration with YSL Beauty. This is amazing, my friends. Now, this is a first for Yves Saint Laurent, being that it's one of the older luxury brands that's been around for a long time. YSL Beauty has actually never had a celebrity collaboration before, which is kind of crazy. So in 2019, for Zoe Kravitz to be leading this and being their brand ambassador and the person that they're going to start this collection with, it's going to be fabulous. Now, I went ahead and did a little research and saw that they have about 6 different lipstick colors with 3 different formulas, satin, matte, and kind of a neutral, regular feeling on the lip as well. Now, with these lip colors, they go from more of a neutral lip color all the way up to more of a bold red lip color as well. And from the background, I saw some of the stories that Zoe Kravitz actually said that it made her make these lip colors from, and it was beautiful. I remember one actually was based off of her grandmother's beautiful neutral look that she always had, and it's actually one of the more natural lip colors because it kept her with that feeling of more of a natural and beautiful presence. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you guys gotta check out the story as well. So that's all for this week's beauty tea. Go ahead and write us in at Jeray for the Slay for more beauty gossip and beauty tea this week. See you guys next time.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we have, Tori?
All right, so Kevin Ang talking about Snow White says, that story had me smiling and tearing up at the same time. And Sarah Astasio says, my son has special needs and has sensory sensitivity, just like this autistic boy, who is nonverbal, by the way. So I really appreciate people of an understanding for his special needs. Yes. And Disney now trains certain people and characters to know what to do with deaf kids and autistic kids. And actually, Sarah wrote us back and said, in Worcester, Ohio, the school district invested in cameras on their buses that capture the plate on the
so wait, that person might be caught?
No, in different. She's saying in Worcester they do that.
I hope in this case that we showed, the video that we showed earlier,
that they
figure that out.
They get a red light camera again at that car at an intersection or something.
There should be a huge. I mean, I know it's illegal. There should be a huge fine. Yeah, right now to legally stop.
Yeah, it's supposed to be $1,250 if they get caught.
Good. Wow. Should be more than that, but I mean, yeah. Well, we will see you Monday, same time, same place. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Tuesday.
No, Monday.
Yay! Just said